Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Sammy Ketchum, and welcome back to Sammy Ketchum TCG. Today, we're here to talk about the cutest rogue deck in the format. That's right, the cutest deck in the format. None other than the Raichu Nuzzle deck. That's right, the Raichu Nuzzle deck. We're going to do a deck profile on this deck today, and then I'm also going to afterwards do a tournament report from a league challenge that I just took this deck to, and I did pretty decently with it. I am very happy for how this deck did, but I am also very sad for what happened. Oh man, I am hurt. I am hurt so bad because of what happened. But I will tell you guys what happened when we get to the tournament report, so I don't want to spoil that. But yeah, we're going to jump into this deck profile. But before we do, I just want to introduce you to the cast of characters we have here today with us. Yeah, I've got my babies with me today. This is little Ella kid. You're new to the show. You got Big Sparky in the back. Say hi, Big Sparky. Pika! And hey guys, meet Trixie. This is Trixie Score Bunny. He's from Daytona Beach. Yep, I got him in Daytona. Really cute. He's been paired up with my Amphi ever since Daytona, and they haven't left each other's side. So yeah, these two are buddies. Alright, let's see. Got that. Alright. And then we've got Charjabug. Of course, we love our electric type Pokemon. We got Charjabug. Electric type gym leader here. And then of course we got little Sparky. Big Sparky, little Sparky. Oh my guys, these guys are helping me out today. Alright. Let's jump into this deck profile. I'm gonna do this deck profile like showing the cards like this. Instead of like laying them out. But I will put the deck list in the description so you guys can take a look at that. Alright. So let's jump into it. First, we have ourselves 4 copies of Pikachu. Alright, you gotta have Pikachus to go with the Raichus. Alright, so we got 4 copies of Pikachu. Alright, Pikachu's first attack. Alright, his first attack is Nuzzle. And that's what this deck is called. 1 energy. If you flip a coin and if you get heads, you can paralyze your opponent. Sometimes this actually comes in handy, you know, when you want to paralyze your opponent. And, you know, it helps if you want to stall, you know, and if they can't respond to your paralyzation. Second attack for like 3 energies, well 2 energies and a lightning is, what is that, Volt Tackle? Volt Tackle. Broke. 70 damage. I think it was a discard energy? Oh, he does 10 damage to himself. I actually never really looked at that attack. But we actually will never use that attack, Volt Tackle. We will never use that attack. So, but there's Pikachu. Has a Nuzzle attack. The Nuzzle attack is important. Alright, and here's the big star of the show. 4 copies of Raichu. Alright, Raichu's first attack, guess what it is? It's Nuzzle. Basically, every single Pokemon in this deck, with the exception of maybe a couple, has the Nuzzle attack. And I'll tell you the reason why in a little bit. Its second attack is called Powerful Spark, just like the Raichu GX that used to be in the format. Powerful Spark. This does 20 damage times the amount of electric energy, or times the amount of energy, I think. Is it energy? Yeah, times the amount of electric energy you have in play. This is very, very busted. Very good. If you have 10 energies in play, that's 200 damage. 200 damage. If you have 12 energy in play, that's 240 damage. With an electro power, that's 270. You're hitting tag team numbers. This is filthy broken, and I'm going to tell you why it's filthy broken. Alright. We have ourselves 4 copies of Emogla. This is why Nuzzle is important. Emogla's ability, basically, what's it called? Nuzzly Gathering. Nuzzly Gathering. Alright? His ability lets you search your deck for a Pokemon with the Nuzzle attack on it and add it to your hand. So you can add Pikachu, you can add Raichu, you can add another Emogla to your hand, and you can also add, oh, of course, his only attack is Nuzzle. So, and also you can also add Pachirisu to your hand, which also has the Nuzzle attack. You know, and while we're on Pachirisu, he has a Nuzzle attack. There's 3 of these in this deck. His first attack is called Snuggly Generator. I'm telling you, man, this is the cutest deck. It's like you get Snugglies and Nuzzles and Cuddles all over. But Snuggly Generator, basically, for 1 energy, you search your deck for a lightning energy. Well, not just 1 lightning energy. But you can get a lightning energy for each and every single Pokemon on your bench that has the Nuzzle attack. That's why Nuzzle is important. You sit here, and every Pokemon that has Nuzzle on your bench, you get to attach a lightning energy to it. So that's 5. Like if you have a full field, which you basically will have, you can attach an energy to each and every single one of your Pokemon on the bench. All because they have the Nuzzle attack. That is filthy busted. And if you do this twice, if you get this off twice, which you can, you're hitting tag team numbers. Easily. You're hitting tag team numbers. I'm telling you, this is busted. Like, bar none, it's like one of the most underrated decks right now in the format. Next card we're talking about is Dedenne. Dedenne is another Nuzzler. He has the Nuzzle attack, so you can also search him out with the Emogla. Alright? And his second attack, for 1 energy, is Nuzzle Shot. For each Pokemon with the Nuzzle... Is it with Nuzzle? Yeah, for each of your Pokemon that has the Nuzzle attack in play, he does 10 damage. He does 10 damage. Is it times? Yeah, I think it's times. Yeah, he does 10 damage for each Pokemon with the Nuzzle attack. So, if you have 6 Pokemon in play with the Nuzzle attack, including himself, it does 60 damage. 60 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon? Oh, 20 opponent's bench Pokemon. 60 damage to 20 opponent's bench Pokemon. So this thing snipes. This is good. Do you know why it's good? Because it can snipe Malamars. It can snipe Malamars. It can do a little bit of damage to Jirachi. You know what I'm saying? Like this thing can snipe early. This thing can snipe off dolls. Yes, this thing can snipe off Pidgeys. Very, very good. So that is why he is in it. He's a little tech card. Very good. Next we're talking about Tapu Koko Prism. This wouldn't be an electric deck without Tapu Koko Prism Star. This will help you get 2 energies back to basically fuel Raichu's I cannot think of this. Powerful Spark. This helps fuel Powerful Spark even more. So, even more to help you hit tag team numbers. You know. Next card we're talking about, Marshadow Resetting Hole. This card is a very good card for bumping off your opponent's stadiums. Things like, what's that? Chaos Wheel. Not Chaos Wheel. Chaos Swell, I think. But yeah, very good for bumping off annoying stadiums. You know, random tech card. The last but not least, this card is the finisher. Reshiram and Zekrom Tag Team GX. Alright, this card is a special card in this deck. It is basically the last card you will ever play in this deck. It's the finisher. Basically, and what this does is Flare Bolts for fire and a lightning energy. Alright. You could basically discard up to 3 energy cards. 3 energy cards. For each one you discard, you do 90 damage for each one you discard. So 1 is 90, 2 is 180, and 3 is 270 damage. That is tag team levels, ladies and gentlemen. Tag team levels. So basically what you do is you get a big tag team knockout with Raichu early on, and then you take your last 3 prizes with this guy. That's what you do. You take your last 3 prizes with this guy. If you can't get it with another Raichu. But now if you can win the game without getting this guy out, then by all means do it. But if you want to finish your opponent off and you see no way you can get another big knockout, this is your guy. This is your finisher. You finish the game, boom, it's over. I'm gonna tell you guys how that combo works when I go into the league report. Moving to the supporters, we have ourselves 3 copies of Volkner. Don't look at me like I'm crazy. I said 3 copies of Volkner. I didn't say 4. This is the first time and probably the last time that I will run a deck with only 3 Volkner. Every single deck that I've run with Volkner, I've had at least 4 Volkner. Wait a minute. With the exception of Reshiram and Zekrom. My Reshiram and Zekrom deck, I think, only had 3. But most decks that I've played ran 4 Volkners. Volkner lets you get an energy and an item card. This is so good in this deck. You can get Reset Stamp, Electro Powers. You can get Pokegear 3.0s for the next turn to find your other supporters. You can get Pokemon Communication, which is important. So many great things you can get with this. Alright. Now here's the kicker. There have been many, a couple of Nuzzle decks online. A couple of Nuzzle decks online. But this is probably one of the only ones that run 3 Roxies. Yes, I said 3 Roxies. Roxy is freaking busted in this deck. This card is busted in this deck. Let me tell you why. What Roxy does is that you sit here and you discard 2 non-GX Pokemon from your hand, and if you do, you draw 3 cards for each. Alright? Draw 3 cards for each. So if you discard 2, that's 6 cards. You draw 6 cards on top of whatever you have already in your hand. So if you already have a big hand and you play Roxy and you sit there and you dig through your deck, draw 6 cards, you're gonna draw basically what you need. Let me tell you why this is good. After you basically go Snuggly Generator twice, and after you've basically Nuzzly gathering all of the Nuzzle Pokemon out of your deck, either into your hand or you play them onto the field. After you search your deck full of all the Pokemon and most of the energy, what's left in your deck? Trainers and supporters. You're gonna draw basically just about everything you need with one of these Roxies, 1 or 2 of these Roxies. I'm telling you, this is busted. Another reason why this is busted is because you don't really discard any cards from your hand. You don't shuffle them back in, you don't discard them, so everything is staying right in your hand. So you're gonna have resources for days. You're just gonna be holding on to your key pieces, and then you're just gonna be swinging with Raichu and Reshiram and Zekrom GX, which is very, very good. This is so busted. So busted. 2 copies of Rosa. Alright, 2 copies of Rosa. Rosa is very, very good in this deck. One of the reasons why Rosa is in this deck is because it could basically let you go search out Reshiram and Zekrom Tag Team GX. You know, my Pokemon, my Nuzzle Pokemon are always getting knocked out because, I mean, they're non-GXs. They're going to get knocked out. You know, they're not that powerful. I mean, Raichu caps at 120, so he's going to get knocked out, which basically brings up Rosa. With Rosa, you can get a basic energy, a Pokemon, and you can also get a trainer card. Note, I said trainer card, which means you can get a supporter, you can get an item, you can get a stadium, anything that says trainer on it, you can get it, which is very good. And what I can usually do at the end of the game, I can go Rosa for Reshiram and Zekrom Tag Team, the Fire Energy, and an Energy Switch, and basically have the energy in play to basically get the combo off and use Reshiram and Zekrom and use Fabled Flare Bolts and get it off. You know, this is so good. Rosa is so good. It's actually really good in a lot of decent decks in this format. You know, we have ourselves 4 copies of Electro Power. Electro Power basically boosts the damage of all my electric type Pokemon. So yeah, Raichu can now hit for more. 240 becomes 270. You know, 270 becomes 300, and so forth and so forth. These are just so good, especially for this deck, a non-GX deck. 4 copies of Pokegear 3.0. This lets you search out your supporters in the deck. look at the top 7 cards, get a supporter, add it to your hand. You can get Rosa, you can get Volkner, and you can get Roxy, which is very good. Yeah. Another reason why this is good in here is because after you thin your deck of energies, and you basically have no more energies in there, and after you thin your deck of Pokemon, after you searched all the Pokemon out with Nuzlocke Gathering, what's going to be left in your deck? Trainers and supporters. So now when you dig for 7, you're basically going to hit it because you searched out almost all of your stuff. You know, which is very, very good. You have a high chance of hitting a supporter, and a supporter that you need. Four copies of Pokemon Communication. Swap a Pokemon from your hand with one in your deck and add it to your hand. You know, so swap a Pokemon from your hand with one in your deck. Simple. You know, very simple. This is also very good because since you thin your deck out with the Nuzlocke Gathering ability, you could take one of those Nuzzle Pokemon and swap it out for Tapu Koko Prism. You can swap it out for your Marshadow Resetting Hole. And you can also swap it out for Reshiram and Zekrom Tag Team GX, which is very good. These being at 4, very, very good. Two copies of Great Catcher to basically bring up your opponents on Pokemon EX or GX Pokemon. Discard 2 cards. Guess what? We have cards to discard. After we basically set up our board and we have extra Pokemon or extra cards that we can't use, we could definitely ditch them to basically bring up their GX Pokemon, which is very good. 1 copy of Reset Stamp. Let me tell you, I want to play 2. But so far I have not found the room yet. Maybe I could cut something for a second Reset Stamp, but right now I haven't found the room. But Reset Stamp does is your opponent shuffles their hand into their deck and draw cards equal to the number of prizes that they have. So if they have 3 prizes, they draw 3. If they have 2, they draw 2, and so on. 1 copy of U-Turn Board, or as Andrew Mahone calls it, the Boogie Board. Yeah, let me tell you, I got inspiration for this deck from Andrew Mahone's channel. I saw him playing this type of deck, and I also got inspiration from this deck from also Rare Candy. When Rare Candy did this Raichu Nuzzle deck at the beginning of the Cosmic Eclipse format, I jumped all on it because you know, I played with Raichu GX, and I also played the Nuzzle deck then. You know, so I am definitely familiar with the Nuzzle deck, and getting inspiration from Rare Candy and Andrew Mahone and combining all those strategies, which is very good. I just wanted to mention that, you know. Yeah. 1 copy of Energy Switch. Switching energy from one of your Pokemon to another Pokemon. This is very good for getting Reshiram powered up. 1 copy of Shrine of Punishment. This basically will help you get over big tag team numbers like ADP. You know, if you can't hit 280, boom, Shrine will get you there. Then we have ourselves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 lightning energies. And 1 fire energy. Now, that is the deck. Alright, let's jump into this League Challenge report. I know this is pretty long, but this League Challenge report is worth it. Alright, alright. Round 1, I played against a Turtonator Naganadel deck, which was really, really good. I played against a good friend, Jeremiah Schultz. Some of you guys may know him as Seagrove. Played against him round 1. Almost throughout the entire game that I played against him, I basically I did not draw a supporter throughout the whole entire game. Did not draw a supporter. I mean, my deck set up well. You know, I got out my Pachirisu, I got out my Nuzzlers, did Snuggly Generator. Snuggly generated onto my Pokemon, went up against his Turtonators. Yeah, I mean, everything else went fine. It's just that I did not have a supporter throughout the whole entire game. But thing about it is, and since I did not have a supporter, he was taking the advantage against me. His Turtonators were knocking out my Pokemon. He was hitting Welder every single turn. He had just about everything going for him. I mean, yes, don't get me wrong, I was getting knockouts as well. We were both trading prizes, but he was in the advantage because he had his supporters. He kept getting energies back on his Pokemon. He had his Naganadels out. He was getting energies on them. Then, it comes down to the wire. Basically, the last prizes. He drops his Reshiram and Charizard Tag Team GX. Alright, he drops that, he rollers onto that, he brings it out and GXs me. He not only has that to attack with, he also has Naganadel on the bench that he could have attacked with. And basically he could attack with either one. But he knocks out my last Raichu attacker. So I have no more attackers on the board. I'm out of options. I don't have anything else. I still have energies in play from when I Snuggly generated, but I have no attackers. I have no Pikachu, no Raichu, no nothing. And remember, I haven't drawn a supporter the whole entire game. I draw for my turn. My goodness, I rip the Rosa. Oh my god. Rosa top deck saves me. I rip the Rosa. I play the Rosa. I go get Reshiram Zekrom, Energy Switch, and the Energy. Alright. Play down the Reshiram and Zekrom. Alright. I attach the Fire Energy. I play the Energy Switch. I switch one energy off from one of my Emoglas. Alright. My Moglin Activest Free Retreat. Free Retreat that. Bring him out. I have a Great Catcher in my hand. Actually, do I have a Great Catcher? I don't know. I don't have the Great Catcher because he's already active. Or do I have Great Catcher? No. Yeah. But, well, I had Great Catcher in my hand anyway. But bring him out. And I have enough energy in play to do Fabled Flare Bolts for 270 damage, knocking him out, getting my last 3 prizes. Oh my gosh, what a freaking game. Like, throughout the whole entire game, no supporters, and then all of a sudden, I ripped the Rosa. Man, what a game. Alright. Second game. What did I play against? I played against ADP. Played against ADP. Played against one of my good friends, James. He just basically he built ADP. Built ADP. He likes it. You know, he's doing well with ADP. So I play against him, and I had a terrible start. I had a terrible hand. The only Pokemon that I had out was Alolan Emogla. Now, having out Emogla is good, but if you don't have out any other Pokemon, then you're kind of stuck, because if you use Emogla to search out all your Nuzzlers, all your Nuzzly Pokemon, you go Emogla for Emogla, Emogla for Emogla, Emogla for Emogla, and then you kind of have to stop because you need to get Pikachu and you need to get Pachirisu out. But it's kind of hard to do when you only have out the one Pokemon that you basically start with and nothing else. So I had to sit there, start with him, and I basically kind of had to pass on my second turn when I could attack, when I should be attacking with Snuggly Generator. Since I could not attack with Snuggly Generator on my second turn, I basically already lost this match. But I continued playing. So I played it out, and you know, I passed for my second turn, which I couldn't attack, and then he basically gets off Alter Creation. I come back, and then I finally get off a Snuggly Generator. After that Snuggly Generator, he comes back. He knocks me out with with ADP. He knocks me out with ADP, attaching energies to his Keldeo on the bench. Alright, so now he's at 4 prizes. Thing about it is that I have to Snuggly Generator again in order to basically reach his tag team levels. But now he's going to take 2 more prizes, which means he's going to be at 2 prizes. After I Snuggly Generated a second time, he's going to take 2 prizes. And then, now what am I going to do? He already has a Keldeo on the bench powered up. If I come up and knock out the ADP, he's just going to bring up the Keldeo and knock on my Raichu. So that's not the plan. So at this point, before I Snuggly Generator twice or again, I don't go for that play, and I bring out Reshiram and Zekrom Tag Team GX, and I basically have to... Did I do that? No, I think I paralyzed him. I think I nuzzled him. But either way, I had to bring out Reshiram and Zekrom Tag Team GX, and of course I had to play. I think I had the energy switch in my hand. I already had the energy switch in my hand. So what I did with Rosa, I went and got the Reshiram Zekrom, and since I had the energy switch, I grabbed Shrine of Punishment, and then I think I used Pokemon Communication to get the Marshadow. So I played the Marshadow, bumped off his Chaos Stadium, played the Shrine, switched my active, brought out the Reshiram and Zekrom Tag Team, and 270. Shrine got the extra damage for 280. boom, knocked out his ADP. You know, but but um, but of course he had game. He had game. But of course the next turn he had game. So I mean he would have had game anyway. But yeah, if I would have had a decent start against him, if I would have had at least another Pokemon on the bench or something in the beginning, you know, it would have been a little different. So I lost there. My next game, I play against Malamar. Which is basically a bad matchup. You know, but the Malamar person I played, they bricked so bad. All right, they literally bricked hard. I mean, they started out with a decent bench. You know, they had 2 NKs, and I think he was playing a little techie as well, because he had a Trevenant, and is it Trevenant? Yeah, it's Trevenant and Dusknoir GX, Tag Team GX. But he had that on his bench, and you know he had that in 2 NKs, but you know that was his first turn, you know, and didn't have any energies or anything, so he passed. You know, I get off my Snuggly generators, my Nuzzly searches. But yeah, he bricks throughout the entire game. Basically goes through most of the game with no energies, no nothing. I'm like, oh man, what is going on? You know, but yeah, I ended up winning that game. Because I mean he just bricks so hard. Alright, so the final game, the next game that I played against ADP once again. And I'm like, man, I'm playing against another ADP, you know. So, you know, I'm playing against this guy, and I legit get the perfect start. I get the perfect start, the start that I wanted. And I'm going second. So I'm sitting there, you know, I get out all my Nuzzle Pokemon, and I go Snuggly Generator. You know, I get that off twice. The first time I get it off. After the first time I get it off, then he goes Ultra Creation. The second time I get it off, you know what I'm saying? After the second time I get it off, he's attacking me. He knocks out my Pachirisu. Now Pachirisu goes to the discard pile. You know, goes to discard pile. I bring up I think I bring up my Raichu. Yeah, Emogla. Bring up Emogla. You know, then I have 2 energies in the discard pile. I go find Tapu Koko, use Tapu Koko, get 2 energies in play. You know, get 2 energies in play. So now I have 12 energies on the board. I'm doing 240 damage. I played Electro Power. I do 270 now. And then I have a Shrine of Punishment in my hand. I play the Shrine of Punishment, and I knock out his ADP. You know what I'm saying? He only has ADP and his Keldeo, so I knock out his ADP clear. You know? So I do that. I think I shocked him a little bit. And then he brings out his Jirachi. Keldeo's still down there. So he goes and, you know, he does Jirachi, brings out his Keldeo, knocks out my Raichu, gets 2 prizes. So now he's at 2 prizes. All right. I come back in, and I come back in and I go for, do I go for Russian Zekrom? No, I don't go for Russian Zekrom. I still have another Raichu in play. And I have a board full of energies. And even after my first Raichu gets knocked out, I have 200 damage on the board. So even if he knocked out my Raichu with Keldeo, I'm smacking that Keldeo in the face and taking 2 more prizes. So that's exactly what I do. So Powerful Spark, knock out his Keldeo as well. I'm down to 1 prize. Down to 1 prize. My opponent goes. He has a Jirachi with a metal energy on it. Alright. So he brings out that Jirachi with the metal energy on it. Actually, no, I think he does. Or does he switch into it? No. He brings it out. He puts that in the active with the metal energy. Then he plays down his Phione. This Phione is important. Alright? He plays the Phione. He uses Phione's ability to put it back into the deck and switch one of my active Pokemon with one of my bench Pokemon. So my thinking is that, okay, I'll bring up a Pokemon that has a pretty decent retreat and I'll just retreat him next turn. You know what I'm saying? That's my thinking. You know. Guess what he does? He brings out his Jirachi. Well, his Jirachi was already active. Attaches a water energy to the Jirachi. Alright. I bring out, since he switched my Pokemon, I bring out a Emogla with 60 HP on it. Jirachi can attack for 30 damage plus 30 more because of Alter Creation. You know, I did not realize this. I did not see it. It came way out of left field. I don't know why I did not bring out something else with more HP. I had the game in hand because he could do anything. I was for sure was going to win the next turn because he couldn't do anything. If I'd have brought out a Pikachu, if I'd have brought out my Pikachu, which was on the bench, I would have survived for actually not 10 damage. Actually, I would have had more damage than that on me. Not more damage. I would have had less damage than that because my Pikachu has resistance, I think. Does Pikachu have resistance? Let's see. Pikachu. Yep. Pikachu does have metal resistance. So 60, 50, 40. His Jirachi would only hit for 40 damage if I'd have brought out Pikachu. Which I should have done. I did not realize that he could hit for 60 damage. Oh my god. I barely lost the game because I literally just took that game. I literally took that game because I knocked out his ADP. I knocked out his Keldeo. I had 1 prize. I had the game. And I brought up an Emogla that could get killed by a Jirachi, no less. A Jirachi OKO'd my Emogla, which I am like, oh man, I just cannot believe, like he wasn't supposed to win that game, but he did. But you know, yeah, my deck played so well. It played so well and did really well against ADP, which I planned for. I planned for my deck to do well against ADP. You know, but yeah, I'm proud. I'm proud of what my deck did today, and I definitely will be taking it to more events. Quick shout out to Get Some Game for hosting the event of the Elite Challenge. decent store. You know, I'm gonna get more publicity for that. Shout out to all my opponents. Shout out to Elias. Shout out to Jeremiah. Shout out to James. Shout out to the other little kid that I played, little senior that I played. So yeah, yeah, this deck is great. This Nuzzle deck is great. It's awesome. I am in love with it right now. It's one of my favorite decks that I've played so far. But let me go ahead and end this. This is a long video. I'm Semi Ketchum. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and make sure you take care of yourself and each other. Thank you.